Hello there guys, it's me again, Mariam. Today we are going to learn our second chapter in science. Well, let's see. Our second chapter is static electricity. First we are going to see charging an object. Cut several small pieces of dry paper and place them on a table. Rub a plastic pen against your dry hair and hold the pen close to the pieces of paper. Then what can we observe? Yeah, we can observe that how the pieces of paper are attracted to the pen. Here in this figure, we can see. Do you know the reason for the attraction of light things towards an object which is rubbed against some other material? Let's do an activity to find the reason. To do this activity, we will need a glass rod, a piece of PVC pipe, an ebonite rod, a sheet of polythene, a piece of silk cloth, a piece of woolen cloth, some small pieces of paper. So the method is hold the objects close to the tiny pieces of paper. Observe what happens before rubbing and after rubbing them, and complete the column of the table according to our observations. Now let's see the table. Now guys, this is the table. In this table, there are 3 columns. So the first column is instance and the other one is object. The third column is observation when held close to the pieces of paper. Before rubbing glass rod. Now before rubbing glass rod, so the observation when we bring it close to a piece of paper, what happens? That attracts or that don't attracts? Yeah, there is no attraction there, that don't attract. Before rubbing PVC pipe, yeah, that also no attraction. Before rubbing an ebonite rod, no, that also no any attraction. After rubbing glass rod, rub with the silk cloth. After that, when we bring in close a piece of paper, that attracts or that don't attract? Yeah, that will attract. We can see the attraction there. A PVC pipe rubbed with the polythene sheet, that also attracts. Ebonite rod rubbed with the woolen cloth. Yeah, there also we can see the attraction. It is observed that the objects mentioned in this table don't attract the pieces of paper before rubbing, but they do attract them after rubbing. Accordingly, it is clear that rubbing an object can make a certain change on it. The scientist William Gilbert was the first to reveal that light things are attracted to rubbed objects. Light things. Now guys, light things means which is not heavy. That's not heavy. Like tiny pieces of paper and feathers, they are only light things. They are not heavy. Scientist William Gilbert observed that when a piece of solid amber is rubbed with a silk cloth, light objects like tiny pieces of paper and feathers are attracted to it. Here guys, this is scientist William Gilbert. Scientist William Gilbert said that electric charges are generated on the surface of objects when they are rubbed. So light objects are attracted to them. When some objects are rubbed, electric charges are generated on them. Now guys, what is static electric charges? Yeah, electric charges generated on the surface of objects by rubbing are called static electric charges. Electric charges generated on surface of objects by rubbing are called static electric charges. Now let's see types of static electric charges. Let's do an activity to study further about the static electric charges. To do this activity, we will need 2 rods of glass, 2 rods of ebonite, a piece of silk cloth, a piece of woolen cloth, few pieces of thread, 2 stands. So the method is hang one glass rod rubbed with the silk cloth on one stand. So what do we do here is, first we hang one glass rod and that glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth. And then we bring another glass rod towards that. Then what happens? That repel. After that, hang one ebonite rod which is rubbed using a woolen cloth. And then we bring the glass rod towards that. Then what happens? Ebonite rod to glass rod. That attracts. Rub the other glass rod with the silk cloth. And then bring that glass rod towards the rod that hung. Then what happens? That attracts. After that, rub the other ebonite rod with the woolen cloth. We are rubbing the ebonite rod using a woolen cloth. And then we bring it towards the rods that hung. So ebonite rod to ebonite rod, that repel. After that, they are telling us to tabulate our observation here. Here we can see the glass rod which is rubbed with the silk cloth, and this is another glass rod which is rubbed with the silk cloth. So in that experiment we saw that we hang one glass rod which is rubbed with the silk cloth, and then we bring another glass rod towards that. Then what happens? Glass rod to glass rod. Here that repel. And here ebonite rod, this ebonite rod is rubbed with the woolen cloth. And here we can see the glass rod, and this glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth. So ebonite rod to glass rod, that attracts. And here you can see the glass rod, and this glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth. And here we can see the ebonite rod. This ebonite rod is rubbed with the woolen cloth. So glass rod to ebonite rod, that what happens? Glass rod to ebonite rod, that attracts. And here we can see the ebonite rod, and this ebonite rod is rubbed with the woolen cloth. Here also we can see an ebonite rod. This ebonite rod also rubbed with the woolen cloth. So ebonite rod to ebonite rod, that repel. I hope now this is clear for you all. Now guys, we can see a table here, and this table is based on our experiment. Well, let's see this table. Hanging rod brought towards observation. So glass rod to glass rod. This one we saw in that experiment. Let's see it again. Glass rod to glass rod, that repel. And ebonite rod to glass rod, that attracts. Glass rod to ebonite rod, we saw that attracts. Ebonite rod to ebonite rod, repel. Now guys, it is observed that there are attraction as well as repulsions between charged rods. Now, attraction and repulsions between charged rods are illustrated in this figure. Here, in this figure, we can see a glass rod which is rubbed with the silk. And here we can see a glass rod which is rubbed with silk. So, both are same. Here, we can see some positive charges here. And here also we can see some positive charges. So, glass rod to glass rod, that repel. So, we can see the repulsion in this figure. Here, ebonite rod rubbed with wool. So, this is an ebonite rod and we can see some negative charges here. Here, in this minus mark. Here, this is a glass rod rubbed with silk. Here, we can see some positive charges. So, ebonite rod to glass rod attracts. So, we can see the attraction in this figure. The reason for the attraction and the repulsion between charged rod is the existence of two types of static electric charges. Now, let's see the two types of static electric charges. The two types of static electrical charges. Positive static electric charges and negative static electric charges. Now guys, this positive static electric charge is marked with this plus mark. And this negative static electric charge is marked with minus mark. Objects with like electric charges repel each other. That means positive static electric charge and positive static electric charge, they repel because they are like electric charges. Negative static electric charges and negative static electric charges, they also repel because they are like electric charges. Objects with unlike electric charges attract each other. That means, now unlike electric charges, negative static electric charge and positive static electric charge, they attract each other because they are unlike electric charges. There are various equipment to identify static electric charges. One of them is the gold leaf electroscope. Here, this is the gold leaf electroscope. When a charged object is brought towards the metal plate of this electroscope, the gold leaf deflects. Now guys, let's do an activity to summarize what we have learned so far. To do this activity, we will need clean and dry drinking straws, drawing pin, a glass and sheet of polythene. So the method is charge the drinking straw by rubbing it with the sheet of polythene. Now we are rubbing the straw using a polythene. And then balance the charged drinking straw on an upturned glass using a drawing pin. Now we are balancing the charged drinking straw on an upturned glass using a drawing pin. And keep a finger near the charged drinking straw about 1 cm away. Now keep the polythene used to the charged drinking straw near it. And then keep another charged straw near the charged straw. Discuss the reason for the observations. Now guys, we know that we are rubbing the straw using a polythene. So both will be in a contact. Then the charge from the polythene will escape to the straw. Once it escapes, what will happen? The polythene will be positively charged and the straw will be negatively charged. When we bring them closer, they will attract because they are unlike charges. After that, they are telling us to keep a finger. So when we bring the finger closer to the straw, that will attract. And now they are telling us to keep another charged straw near that previous straw. So we are rubbing that straw also using a polythene. So it will also get the negatively charged because the both straws have the same material and the same property. So it will also get the negatively charged. When we bring them closer, they are like charges, so they will repel. Generation of static electric charges. The amounts of positive and negative particles are equally distributed on an object before it is rubbed. Therefore, the object doesn't show any net charge. When the objects are rubbed against each other, negatively charged particles, that means electrons, remove from one object and transfer to the other object. Or the object from which negatively charged particles are removed is charged positively, and the object that gained negatively charged particles is charged negatively. Now, the process that takes place when a pair of objects are rubbed against each other can be illustrated as follows. Now guys, we can see a cloth here, and here we can see a glass rod. Before rubbing, positively and negatively charged particles are scattered uniformly. Therefore, objects don't show any net charge. Now while rubbing, negatively charged particles move from one object and they are gathered on surface of the other. After rubbing, now we can see after rubbing, this cloth is negatively charged and this glass rod is positively charged. So, one object is negatively charged because more negatively charged particles are collected on it. The other object is positively charged because negatively charged particles are removed from it. It is clear to you when two objects are rubbed with each other, one object is positively charged while the other is negatively charged. Accordingly, positively charged and negatively charged objects contact each other. Two objects become neutral. Therefore, objects don't possess any net charge. Now let's do an activity. So, testing the neutralization of charged objects due to the exchange of static electric charges. So, to do this activity, we will need a glass rod and an ebonite rod of equal size, a piece of silk cloth, a piece of woolen cloth, two strands, piece of thread. So the method is rub the silk cloth against the glass rod and rub the woolen cloth against the ebonite rod. And then we hang the two rods separately on two stands with pieces of thread. After that, we bring two rods close to each other slowly. Record the observation. It is observed that positively and negatively charged rods attract at the first time when they brought close to each other. After that, repeat the previous step several times and observe what happens. Now, but they neither attract or repel when they are brought together repeatedly. So the reason for this is that they are neutralized because of the exchange of charges at the first attraction. Phenomena associated with static electricity. Now guys, there are many occasions in our day-to-day life when we experience incidents associated with static electricity. Now let us consider some of them. Lightning. We can recall instances of lightning with or without rain. Sometimes lightning can damage property as well as lives. Lightning occurs because of the generation of static electric charges on clouds. Our scientists haven't come to an exact decision on how static electricity occurs in clouds. It is believed that static electric charges occur by rubbing particles of ice and water one another. A sudden spark of these static electric charges either inside the cloud or between two clouds or between a cloud and the earth is called lightning. The scientist Benjamin Franklin was the first to carry out experiments on lightning. Once he sent a kite up to a cloud while there was lightning and static electric charges in the cloud was discharged to the earth. So guys, this is scientist Benjamin Franklin. The scientist was carrying out an experiment on lightning. Emitting tick sounds when ironing clothes. Sometimes we may have observed that the hair on our arm is attracted to silk cloths, giving a tick sound when we iron them. So the reason for this phenomenon is the generation of static electric charges when iron comes into contact with the silk cloths. Attraction of hair on the arm towards the TV screen. Sometimes we may have experienced that hair on our arm are attracted to the TV screen when even TV is switched off. So the reason for this is the accumulated static electric charges on the TV screen. Some other instances associated with static electricity. Static electricity is used in the electronic circuits in equipments like photocopy machines, radio and television. So now let's learn about capacitors. Now guys, there is an activity here. Let's see that. To do this activity, we will need two aluminium sheets approximately 15 cm to 15 cm, two pieces of wires, a galvanometer, a polythene sheet, two dry cells, cello tape or rubber bands. So the method is connect the two pieces of wire to each aluminium sheet and then we place the polythene sheet between the aluminium sheets. Then hold aluminium sheets securely, that means carefully, without letting them touch each other using cello tape or rubber bands. And then we connect the free ends of the wires to dry cells and keep for some time. After that, we remove the cells, connect the wires to the galvanometer and observe instantly. So what we have made in this activity is a simple capacitor. When connected to dry cells, static electric charges are stored in the capacitor. When it is connected to the galvanometer, releasing of charges can be observed. So the appliance that can store static electric charges is known as capacitor. So what is capacitor? The appliance that can store static electric charges is known as a capacitor. Storage of static electric charges in the capacitor is known as charging. So guys, what do you mean by charging? Yeah, storage of static electric charges in the capacitor is known as charging. And what do you mean by discharging? Yeah, releasing the charges from the capacitor is known as discharging. What do you mean by discharging? Releasing the charges from the capacitor is known as discharging. When discharging occurs through the galvanometer, it gets deflected. The amount of electric charges that can be stored in a capacitor is measured in farads, and microfarad is used as a subunit. So guys, there are more efficient types of capacitors are made in various sizes. So in this figure we can see a capacitor, and this figure shows us a symbol of capacitor. Details like chargeable voltage, positive terminals and negative terminals, maximum capacity that can be stored are mentioned on most of them. Now guys, there is an activity here. Let's see that. Identification of charging and discharging of a capacitor. To do this activity, we will need 1000 microfarad capacitor, 3 dry cells, a small LED and pieces of wire. So the method is connect pieces of wire to the terminals of the capacitor. Connect the other ends of the wires to dry cells correctly. After a few seconds, remove the dry cells and connect the LED correctly to the capacitor and observe. Positive terminal of the dry cell should connect with the positive terminal of LED. Discuss the reason for your observations. Now guys, in this figure we can see the charging and discharging of a capacitor. The reason for the lighting of the LED is the discharging of charges stored in the capacitor through LED. The capacitor can be recharged by connecting it correctly to the dry cells. Now guys, I am going to conclude this lesson with a summary. So, static electricity is the build-up of an electrical charge. On the surface of any object, the charges remain in one area, then moving to any other area, so it's called static electricity. That means static electricity is generated when one object is rubbed against another. There are two types of static electric charges, which are positive and negative. When objects are rubbed, negatively charged particles in one object are removed from each and are transferred to the other. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract each other. That means repulsions occur between likely charged objects and attraction occur between unlikely charged objects. Lightning is a natural phenomenon caused by static electric charges. Static electricity is used in televisions, photocopy machines and radios. Capacitor is an appliance that can be used to store static electric charges. Thanks for watching and listening this video guys. If you guys enjoyed and had fun with this video, then drop a like, share and don't even forget to subscribe. Bye. See you.